Knight e6, rook e6 check. If king a8, you go e5 and you fossilize the king. If knight e6, rook e6, queen g7, king a6, you have bishop e2, king a5, and then you go queen a1, king b4, rook c4, king b3, queen a4, king b2, rook c2, king b1, queen a2, which is the checkmate. It's got to be knight e6 then, doesn't it?
Well, what if they don't take? There's nothing they can do.
What do you do? Knight e6 what? Knight f7? But then you go queen f6, rook d7, and then you have knight d4, and the knight's coming around, no?
I guess it's just that, yeah? It's just the knight is coming. I mean, you don't know. That was pretty convincing.
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct was queen f6, but it's definitely not queen f6. So I think it's got to be knight e6 then. What other moves make sense here? f5 looks like a ridiculous move. e5 looks like a move, but it's not a puzzle. Actually, no, e5 allows knight f5, and you just lose, right? So the knight's hopping every which way.
I mean, after knight e6, black is like absolutely paralyzed. It doesn't...
Yeah, I think knight e6 must be right. So knight e6, knight f7. Knight d4, knight d8. So knight d4 is wrong. So queen f6, rook e6, queen f7, you win. Rook b8, knight d4, knight d... I mean, that doesn't seem right at all, but I think it's right. Really, is it still a puzzle? Knight c7, knight d5, you mean? Yeah, no, I like that idea. Yeah, because you fork the king and the rook, right? And then if black plays, like, queen b1, then you're going to check on e3 or d4, right?
And if rook c8 on knight c7?
And on rook c8, then you go knight b5 and you take the rook, right? Yeah, okay, then it's got to be right. Yeah? Or not? I think so, right? Or
After
not?
knight c7, I don't see a defense.
Yeah, to knight d5 with the fork. Agreed. Where can black go? Rook d7 maybe? But then knight d5, and then you're going to check again on the diagonal. The king's in trouble. I think it's right, yeah?
Let's do it.
It is. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. We didn't even consider queen b3.
I was going to say queen b4 here, actually, instead of queen b3. I forgot to mention that.
Because now you take and go knight d4, knight c6, right? Or do you go... no, queen d4, rook b6, knight c... No, rook c7, trade, queen c2, and then you take the knight. It's got to be just trade knight d4, no?
Yes, that looks... Yeah, what does black play? Rook f3?
King f3. I mean, but it's a winning endgame.
Yeah. Is it? I don't...
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be, no?
Hold on. What are some of the other scores, by the way, that we're dealing with? Maybe
like queen d4, queen b6 is the only... Well, but I mean, it's survival, so it doesn't really matter. Well, I guess it does, because we've taken 37 minutes, to be fair. So it kind of does matter, actually.
This could literally be the run.
I mean... I think it just takes knight d4. That's my gut says that's what it's got to be. Because queen d4, queen b6, then you're back at square one. Like, it's just too random, isn't it?
Okay, well, wait. Take knight d4, rook f3. What are you going to play there?
King f3? King a6, rook c6. It's got to be right. It just has to be right, doesn't it?
That rook c6 is convincing.
Yeah, okay.
Rook c6 is convincing, yeah.
Okay, we're at 60, okay.